Hello and welcome to MGP506. I'm Kev, and with me this week there's Sheepdog and Pab. Say hello, boys, and no Anna.
Hello, no Anna.
Hello. Hello.
I actually said say hello, boys, and no Anna. So what you should have said, Sheepdog, is hello, boys, and no Anna, not just hello, Anna.
Look, I was confused. The instructions were unclear, but we got here in the end.
I'm not sure I'm
Did we?
happy with how that's turned out. No Anna this week, boys and girls. She's not very well. She's, somebody who shall remain nameless decided that just as Anna was starting to come down with a cold, it would be a good idea to have a massive gallstone flare up and then keep her up all night last night. And then inexplicably, in unrelated events, she's now asleep at 8:25 on a Friday evening. I don't see how those two things are related. She's got a cold, and I kept her up all night because, I mean, this gallstone thing, I was led to believe it would be predictable. So if I ate something bad, it would hurt. I thought, fine, I'll finally lose some weight. I'm going to get punished for bad food. This might work in my favour. Yesterday, I just had a turkey sandwich for dinner because I was in a rush. We've been rearranging our living room so that we could... Basically, we always planned that once all the kids had moved out, we'd make our living room ideal for me and Anna, by which I mean 2 TVs, 2 PlayStations, 2 Xboxes, a nice sofa pointing at all of these things so we could sit next to each other and play games together. This was the plan for the summer. And then we realised the Diablo 4 beta is this weekend, and we'd quite like to spend the weekend playing that together, sat next to each other. So this plan that was for the summer, we got to, I think, Tuesday, and we're like, should we just do it now? And randomly, on a whim, on Tuesday night, we just ordered all the stuff, and it arrived yesterday, and it was like arrived yesterday afternoon, and suddenly our hallway's got a TV cabinet, a TV, a PlayStation, other bits and bobs that we needed for the setup. And we realised we had to actually completely rearrange our living room and sort it all out. So I don't remember where I was going when I started this story, but bottom line, I was in a hurry because of all that. So rather than having a proper meal, we just had sandwiches for tea, as you do sometimes. I had a turkey sandwich, and then within an hour, I was bent over into clutching my chest with gall problems again. That meant that rather than at this point, we'd basically gutted the living room and moved like Anna's PC upstairs and spread everything out all over the floor, but hadn't actually set up any of the stuff. So we kind of got to the point where the living room was not usable, the chairs were not usable, the TV and everything was all disconnected, and there was no way for anyone to do anything in there. And I just basically collapsed on the floor and had to go to bed. And then I was doing my trademark drifting in and out of consciousness thing that I do when it really hurts, while Anna's there looking over me, making sure I don't die. And I got 11 hours sleep last night. I feel very rested, but apparently Anna's a little worse for wear as a result of it. And then, of course, we got up this morning and had to finish the job that we'd started. So we've spent all day today shifting stuff around, going back and forth to the tip, getting everything set up. So I think I've just completely exhausted her and broken her. And we had our last trip to the tip at about 4:00. We got back and she said, I'm just going to have a lie down. I'm tired. We can't lie down in the living room because I'm still setting stuff up in there. Well, I'll just go and lie on the bed then. I've not seen her since. I've sent a couple of messages. I assume she's still alive up there, but I went up there. We recorded Best Thing From before this. I went up there between podcasts just to check if she was going to come and do this, and just opened the door, and she is absolutely fast asleep. So yeah, she's as far as I'm aware, been asleep since about 4:00, and no signs of her resurfacing. So that's where Anna is, everybody. But the moral of the tale is we've got a really cool grown-up living room now with 2 TVs in, so that we can sit there and play Diablo 4 beta together all weekend, and we're gonna have a lovely time doing it.
I thought you'd designed this so that you were going to be sat facing each other with TVs next to each other, so that you could see each other and not each other's TVs. The way you've got it, I wouldn't be able to focus on my own telly.
Yeah, that's because you're weird. We can focus on this, no problem. We've played like this before. When Anna was for when Anna wasn't officially moved in way back when. This will only work for Sheepdog. In fact, no, Pab spent 2 minutes in my old living room.
Yes.
We had our TV in the corner, and for a while, when Anna was kind of moved in but wasn't properly moved in, she had a TV on the windowsill as well. So we would have kind of 2 TVs next to each other then. I don't know why we stopped doing that. I think we realised that was probably crazy. So we stopped doing it and then never did it here either. But we have before had 2 TVs next to each other, and it's fine. But we've realised that not only are we going to be able to see each other's TVs, but obviously we'll be able to hear each other's TVs as well. So we're both going to be wearing noise-cancelling headphones while we're doing it. So the only way we're going to be able to talk to each other is if we have a party chat on the PlayStation. Because we're not, although we're going to be sat next to each other on the sofa, we're not going to be able to hear each other because we're going to have noise-cancelling headphones on. So we've got to set up a PlayStation party and chat via that. And then occasionally, I guess, I can just lean over and grab a boob or something just to let her know that I'm there.
You're a funny couple, aren't you?
This is just perfect. This is exactly what we've always wanted. That living room is now perfect for us. It's going to be amazing.
So I feel like that. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds good. I feel like you won't be in there much. You'll be in your office, won't you?
I'll only be in my office when I'm working, because that was one of her arguments. And I did say the reason I'm in here as much as I am is because not only is this where I work, this is also where all my games consoles and everything are. So when I'm not working, if I want to just play a game, previously I've either had to play on my Switch or my Steam Deck, or come in here if I want to play on the PlayStation or the Xbox. Whereas now it's all in there. So if I want to go and play a game after I finished working, I can just go and plonk myself down next to her on the sofa. Doesn't matter if she's doing something, doesn't matter if she's watching TV or playing a game of her own. I can just wander in there, sit down next to her, turn mine on, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Sounds good. I've tried to convince Mrs. Sheepdog to put 2 TVs in the living room plenty of times, and she won't have it. We've got a whole space where a TV could go at the moment, and she just won't have it. It's
easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Just do it and see what she does. What's she going to do? Take it out again once you've done it?
I mean, the compromise we did have is I have a TV in this room that doesn't have a sofa opposite it at the moment. I could just buy a sofa and use this TV and it'd be fine, and we could just talk through the open doors. But I've just not got around to doing it. I'm a bit rubbish at keeping on top of tasks.
That's why you just have to randomly do it on a Tuesday night when it.
Well, that's what will happen.
Catches your mind.
Yeah, that's what'll happen. That's how ADHD works. I'll just rearrange the whole house one night.
Excellent. So yeah, that's what I've spent most of my week doing. When I've not been doing that though, I have played some video games. But before we talk about video games, I'll just give either of you two an opportunity to tell us all about your interesting lives before I segue into video games. You got anything interesting to tell me?
I mean, my week's been all right. I spent today. I'm working on a game jam as of today. It kicked off at midnight last night. I've got until the 17th of April. I think. It must be because it's 17th today. 17th of April. I was almost late for our Best Thing From meeting because I was in the debate where we were talking about what sort of game we're making and all that kind of thing. And I thought I was going to have loads of ideas for this at the start. And then when we got into the, let's all pitch our ideas in this forum and then we'll discuss them on the call, I had nothing. I had plenty of story ideas for everybody else's games, but I had no suggestions. I've completely drawn a blank. I think the pressure of the moment. But I did keep thinking to myself, if it was up to me, I'd make a Metroidvania. I'd want to channel Pab and make a Metroidvania game. Unfortunately, one of our team put that forward as an idea, and it was the first idea we reviewed in the call. And then an hour later, after we'd reviewed 7 or 8 other ideas, we all debated what we wanted to do and went with the Metroidvania that we started on in the first place. So we're doing that. And yeah, in a month's time, I'll have not a fully fledged Metroidvania game. It'll be like a game jam, not bare bones, but it'll be a playable, fun little game that I'm in my head thinking this is basically the prototype, the precursor to the game I've had in my head for the past, 8 years.
Mega Stand 2.
It's the game I would have made if I'd been capable of making it when I made Mega Stan. I've got this whole story plot thing in my head. Playing Hollow Knight really helped me figure out what it was I needed to do to make the game work as locking people out and stuff. The whole Metroidvania shtick of you can't get past this because you haven't got the ability to do so yet, and you have to keep exploring kind of thing. I've now in my head, I've got a very clear path, plot, this, that, and the other. So this story we're doing for Autism Acceptance Month, it's not a game about autism. It's just part of it. We do a whole festival about comics and poems and drawings and all that kind of stuff, and then part of it is just a game jam. And this year we have a theme. It's I think it's limitations and workarounds is the theme. So we're just going to come up with some sort of story that fits the theme, and then it's not really going to be anything that's sort of massively. It's going to be a game, basically. It's going to be a Metroidvania game, jumping around platformery type thing, and it's going to be awesome. And I get to write the story to it. People will do the art for it. Someone else is programming it. Someone's doing the music for it. It's going to be epic. I'm well happy. But it means that I've spent the week kind of twiddling around sites like, what's it called? The IO, something.io. I've forgotten the bloody name of it. Now I'm talking about it. Oh, no. I forgot.
Is it called EI? EI.
I'm going to look up what it's called.
I'm glad you just said drawing, because you've just reminded me I'm supposed to do my drawing. I bought a notebook that has 150 drawing prompts in, and I was going to be putting them on Twitter. I did it once. But now I've got to sit here, and while we're talking, I need to draw a bird. That's day 3's challenge.
It was Itch. Do you know what kept getting me confused? Was I kept thinking Twitch.io, and I was like, it's not Twitch. And then I remembered it was Itch. So I've been clicking around on that, trying to get inspiration, but every game I thought we could make, it turned out it was a similar version of it. We talked about making a rhythm game, and that got me playing a little bit of Friday Night Funkin'. When I thought it was going to be an autism-themed game, I wanted to make Sunday Night Stimming, but literally no one acknowledged my name, so it went down like a lead balloon. Left it at that, didn't push it any further. But yeah, no, we're making the Metroidvania that in my heart of hearts I wanted to make. I just didn't have the balls to stand up and have faith in my convictions. But yeah, I'm excited. It's super busy, fun times. I've already, I've written 2 comics this week, like short ones. I've written probably 6 or 7 pages worth across 2. I finished writing my graphic novel with my friend that they're now thumbnailing. I'm running this podcast thing that I've been roping Kevin to taking part in, that I'm going to be interviewing people for. And yeah, it's been busy times. I am really looking forward to not having to get up in the morning, although it's Mother's Day this weekend, isn't it? So I'm going to be going to see my mum tomorrow, and I'm knackered. I really need to sleep.
So, look at you showing off again. I'm fed up of you. I'm fed up of you bragging about having a mum. It's getting old.
I apologise. I do this every year to you. A slightly game-related thing that I'm going to bring up now while I remember, because if I don't, I'm going to forget, and then I'm going to regret not bringing it up, is that the 3DS store is closing, isn't it? And,
it is. Yes.
If you have 3DS finances on your account, or you want to buy games, you've always wanted to get them, and this is your last chance to do it kind of thing, yeah, get on with it. For me, my problem at the moment, and one of the things that distracted me at the start of the podcast was I forgot I'd opened a window that said you can still buy digital Wii U and 3DS games, but not for long. And it said March 27th, so 10 days from now, you won't be able to buy them anymore. And I told Ollie that I would get him Yokai Watch 3 on the 3DS shop. And it says here the only way you can do it is by going to some sort of Nintendo store, adding funds, and then going through some hoop jumping thing. You can't just use your credit card on the thing anymore. And yeah, while Kev was talking, I suddenly remembered I needed to answer that question and started reading it. But I'm like sat there thinking, have they explained this in a massively overcomplicated way? And actually all it's saying is go on the website and buy it on the website and then use the code. Or is there some convoluted way to do it? Because I've promised him we'll get him Yokai Watch 3. And if he can't get it, he's going to be mortified. And the cartridge is hundreds. Like, you can't buy the cartridge in English for less than like 500 quid, I think I saw at one point. There might be something like 200 or 300, but I'm not spending more than 40 quid on it, let's face it. But he is expecting to get this tomorrow, and I didn't realise it was going to be hoops and headaches, and I'd been told the shop had a big sale on as well, so I was thinking, oh, I'll have to be careful while I go on there that I don't end up buying 50 games because they're all like £1 each or something. But I can't see it. It looks like it's just usual Nintendo tax. I don't know whether.
It will be.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just missing the ones that were on sale, but I would say to people, maybe keep an eye on it across the next 10 days.
Here's the thing for you. The problem you've got, Sheepdog, is they stopped letting you put credit on your account months ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty much what money you've got on your account now. So if you haven't got any money on your account, you might be up the creek.
Damn. I'm guessing there's no way to buy the code online and just input it from the shop and download it that way.
They probably don't have that anymore. They used to do that for select games. I think Game used to do stuff like that, but I don't think
this sounds like the return of Sheepdog Pugwash is going to have to be a thing.
I don't even know how you would do that on a 3DS. Do you know what I mean? I'm not condoning that kind of behaviour. I am sort of thrown. I mean, I'll see if I can find a way to buy it that gets it put on there. Part of me thinks, especially with a series like Yokai, they're not going to just let that game disappear into the ether forever. Surely they're gonna make it possible to buy those games elsewhere
on a cartridge.
Well,
for 500 quid.
Yeah.
No, it'll be on the DS store on Switch eventually, surely.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
There isn't a DS store on Switch.
I thought that was a big thing, or was that...
No. I used to imagine that.
Well, I think we all assumed...
Oh, no, it was the Game Boy, wasn't it? Yeah. Game Boy and stuff, yeah. No, they'll be there eventually.
I imagine it will pop up. Part of me's like, if I don't mention it, he'll probably never mention it again, or he'll mention it in like 6 months' time, and I'll be like, you forgot to remind me, and then we'll have a little bit of disappointing times, but... I feel really bad because there was a point like 6 months ago where someone was showing me how to do it, and I was like, "Yep, I'll sort that out tomorrow," and I didn't. So here we are. But yeah, that sucks. I was thinking, oh, I'll get to just take advantage of some low-cost games, and apparently not. So yeah, you said you played something. Actually, Pab, have you done anything this week? We never really give you a chance to talk about cartoon life.
What have I done this week? Not a lot. And I think now, got some Home Alone shoes.
Ooh,
some what? Home Alone shoes?
Yeah. I've got the trainers that Kevin McAllister wears in the film Home Alone.
That'll be too small for you, surely.
Well, not the actual, the model, not the actual shoes.
I see.
I entered in. I don't know. I saw them last year at some point. And then you had to enter a lottery to get them.
You do buy some weird stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Well, so this is the thing. You have to re-enter into a lottery type system. I don't know what it is. You know, like all these trainer sites that Nike do it as well, and Adidas. You have to pretty much confirm you're interested, and then at some point it's a lottery system where you might be picked out. I'm
familiar with buying trainers that everybody wants.
Yeah, so I did that, and I didn't get them. And then on Tuesday, I got a ping on the Adidas app or whatever it was. I went, "Do I want these trainers?" And I went, and it goes, "You got 10 minutes, go." I was like, I immediately just brushed it away, and then 5 minutes later, I was like, "I'm on it. I'm not gonna get them." Because they weren't that expensive for what they were. So I've now got Home Alone shoes, and they've got Harry and Marvin soles.
I'm just looking at them online, and I was going to ask that very question. Are these trainers that never formally existed that were made for the film? Then
no, they existed back in the day, I think.
Oh right, so it's just a releasing of shoe from the 80s or whatever.
Late 90s, pretty much. And and they have like on the tab they have like a Home Alone logo, like it looks like a doormat, and they have like the McAllister, like the doorknob M on the back of it, on the back of them, and they have all these different charms for the laces. So there's just all sorts of different things on them. But yeah, that's what I've been up to this week, pretty much. I've been caving on limited edition stuff again.
You are a funny person. I am entertained by what you spend money on.
I know. And I've been sat here tonight. I've been thinking it for about a week or two. And I've been thinking, is it time for a new computer? Is it time?
It's always time, Pab. It's always time.
Well, this is the thing, you see. It is always time. And I've been skirting by on my 2080 and whatever, and then I spoke to someone tonight and said, well, you just get a graphics card. You don't need the rest of the stuff. The other stuff in your computer's fine. And I was like, wait, you can do that?
I'm pretty sure your graphics card is already better than mine.
It might be. Mine's a 2080.
What have you got?
No, I've got a 2080.
I've got a 2080 as well. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Pabby, how did you not know you could replace graphics cards?
I know you could, but I was thinking because mine is a certain age, they might not fit. It might not be compatible. The new graphics cards might not be compatible with the gear I've got in there right now. That's what happened the last time. Like one of the first times I built a computer, I bought a graphics card and it just didn't fit the motherboard or whatever and stuff like that.
When I was a teen, I got a graphics card, put it in, and left everything plugged into the motherboard. So I didn't get the benefit of it for ages until I realised my mistake. But it was like a long time. Very foolish.
Yeah. So I've been sat here and it's like, do I get a 4080? It's like, it's minimum 1,200 quid. It's a
friend
lot.
of mine who's a game dev, he was getting some ludicrous thing that was costing several £1,000s, and it's like,
and that's it though. It's where does it stop? Because I said like it's minimum 1,200, and I know that's not that they don't the 1,200 ones aren't available, so it's probably closer to 1,400, and then it's at least another 200 for a power supply because I'm going to need a new power supply for that as well. I made that mistake before as well. It just stacks and stacks. And I was like, I messaged my mate and said, should I just get a 4070 Ti? I don't think I'll need a power supply. And he was like, nah. I was like, yeah, but there's not that much difference.
This sounds like a bad influence on you.
But, well, normally, I messaged him initially and said, just talk me off this ledge of this computer buying nonsense and stuff. And then he just said, it future-proofs you. It's you get a power supply now. You get a higher power supply now. You don't need one in the future. So that's one less thing you've got to buy in the future. And you're stretching it out longer if you buy a 4080 now. You spend the extra few hundred quid now. You're stretching it out probably at least another year. So I was like, oh, you're right. He's right. It makes sense.
When Kev's got the 5080, you'll be like,
yeah, but you've got.
I was saying to Pab before we started, I really don't need a graphics card. But as long as the only thing my PC is used for now is playing Football Manager, even all my video editing is done on a Mac. So I'm not going to need a graphics card until Football Manager gets a proper graphics engine.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dead before that happens.
Yeah, I'm set in mind for as long as it's used.
You are.
It's just I'm just here. Yeah, I mean, it's not like my last one. I think I upgraded only because somebody convinced. Someone offered me their graphics card. I said no, I'm all right. They said, why don't you use it for a bit and see how you get on? And then they charged me for it, and I didn't have the heart to say no, so I just ended up buying it through force, effectively. But I just figured that this one will run into the ground and then I'll get a new one in like 6-7 years or something. Unless one of my harebrained schemes pays off, and then I'll just have 50 computers and I'll build my house out of them. I'll be like, I was going to reference something on a different podcast then, Kev, and tell me like those ham people except for PCs. You have to listen to Best Thing From.
Well, people should be listening to the Best Thing From podcast. Exactly. That's not even out yet when this podcast comes out. But soon
tomorrow.
There'll be a podcast where we talk about Sheepdog rubbing his bald head against a ham.
Yep, and then you'll know what that joke was all about and you'll laugh. See that?
Exactly.
That's marketing, that is. But
I'm not sure it was good marketing. But yeah, I guess loosely you could describe that as marketing.
So,
Pabby, what time does your computer arrive on Sunday?
Oh, it hasn't. It hasn't. Nothing's arrived. I just live 15 minutes away from Scan. So that's
go
nice.
buy one tomorrow.
That's
nip
the thing.
over
I was
there.
just like on a whim. I was like, I'll go and do my shopping at the Asda that's up there, and then I'll just wander in and.
Exactly. You could be playing the Diablo beta tomorrow on your new graphics card.
Because that probably requires me to pre-order it then, doesn't it? So
pre-order it then.
I know, but
like you're not going to get it.
I am going to get it.
Come on, Pabby.
I don't know what system to get it on. Probably PC.
Get it on PS5. That's what me and Anna have got it pre-ordered on PS5.
So,
but you know full well I'll buy it on PC as well.
Yes, indeed.
Which means I'll probably need a graphics card. While you're up at Scan, get 2.
I mean, to be fair,
I'll sort you out when we're at Comic-Con.
They're never really that power intensive. So, like I say, 2080 is probably fine for a...
I mean, the decision's made now, Pab. You're not going to talk me out of this new graphics card I've wanted for minutes.
Yeah. Well, you might need a new power supply as well. So just keep that in mind.
Easy peasy. Right, I have played a new release video game today, this week, which
what could it be?
we're nearly 25 minutes in and we've not talked about it, but I have been playing WWE 2K23, which actually officially launched today. But I got the pre-release or the pre-order 3 days early access jobby. So I've been playing it since Tuesday, I want to say. I have done one wrestling match. I've spent hours on this game, but I have done one wrestling match because the GM mode in this game, oh my word, I am officially in love. It is amazing. It's not on the same kind of depth as like Total Extreme Wrestling, which I've talked about on the podcast before many years ago. It's not like Football Manager levels of nerdiness and detail, but compared to where GM mode was last year on the WWE game, and it was missing from the game for years, this is just such a huge leap towards what I want from a wrestling game, because I don't want to do wrestling matches. I want to be the general manager, and I want to draft my roster, and then I want to plan my matches, and then I want to just basically play Wrestling Manager, and that's exactly what it lets me do. There's apparently lots of other really cool stuff on there as well. As far as wrestling games go, this one is getting really, really favourable reviews, and the one match I had seemed fine. It's even got an Ultimate Team style section in there now where you can buy all your WWE bucks and open packs and get cards. And there's a whole section of that I've not even looked at. And you know how much I love FIFA Ultimate Team. But I've not even looked at that. There's a couple of good story-based modes that I've not played yet. Just because I am just loving being the general manager. You can have up to 4 general managers competing against each other. That can be you against 3 CPUs, or 1 or 2 if you want. Or you can do up to 4-player only local co-op, which seems mental in 2023 that you can't do GM mode multiplayer online. It's local only. But even just playing it on my own, I've got a bit of a thing for competing against Kurt Angle as one of the other general managers. You start things off, you have the whole WWE roster available and you draft your roster. So you're given a budget. Each wrestler has a different contract level, contract value that they can have. You draft your roster and then you start booking your weekly show. So if I'm the general manager of Raw, I'm booking Raw, and I'm trying to get higher viewer figures and make more profit than the AI who's doing SmackDown, the AI that's doing NXT. They've even got WCW on there as an option, and Eric Bischoff as a manager that you can compete against. So you can bring back the Monday Night Wars from the 90s. And you just go through booking your shows. You can sign new wrestlers when you've got the money to be able to do it. You can bring in some of the classic legendary wrestlers as well. So like if you want to have Ultimate Warrior and Andre the Giant and Macho Man Randy Savage, they're all there as well. And you can draft them in and have them on your roster as well. And if you want to, you can actually play the wrestling matches as well. But I've just felt no need to. I'm just enjoying doing the booking and then the simulating of it. And on last year's game, you could only do that for 1 calendar year. So I think it would let you do 15 weeks of shows, which will culminate in WrestleMania, and then that was it. You were done. But this year, each year is 25 weeks, so it's a much longer year. But you can also do multiple seasons as well. You redraft at the end of each season, but your storylines and stuff carry on. And there's so much depth to it, and it's awesome. And I didn't need this in my life when I'm quite busy with other stuff. I was up until like 1 a.m. the night it came out, which for me is a very late night. I finish streaming at 10 o'clock and I'm usually asleep with my Switch on my face by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. But I was still sat at my desk at 1 a.m. and Anna just phoned me at like 1 a.m. saying, "Have you seen the time?" I just replied, "Yes." "What are you doing?" "Just, got to test that this wrestling game works. Got to make sure it's safe for people to play. Oh, it's so good. It's so much fun. Go and give it a try. If you've not played a WWE game for a few years, and I hadn't really, there was the absolute pathetic one from a few years ago that was just memed everywhere and was absolutely awful. They skipped a year and basically tore up the plan and redid it last year and came back last year with what, by all accounts, was a pretty solid game that I didn't play because I'd been burnt by the one that was terrible a couple of years before. But I'd seen so many positive reviews about this one that I had to dip my toe in and have a look. And like I say, just GM mode has got me giddy, and I've not even scratched the surface on the rest of it. And somehow now I've got to fit this in. I'm literally on the final chapter of Fire Emblem Engage. I've got the Diablo 4 beta that has already started, and it's sat there ready on my PS5, ready to play. And I'm supposed to be playing Football Manager for, my job, and I'm off to Switzerland in like 10 days. Oh, I've got no time for any of it. I didn't need this wrestling game, and I don't need this Diablo beta. It's all coming at the wrong time, but goodness me, is it fun. Go play. If you're into wrestling, go give it a try. You will not be disappointed, boys and girls. It is super duper. That means you as well, Pabby, because you like a bit of wrestling.
I'll get it possibly when it's on sale. I'm not in any rush though.
You've even made me think it sounds good. I was reading about it just now while you were chatting away. I was just reading about all the different things you can do in it. I did think to myself, this man realizes he could just book a hall, put a ring in it, and get a load of people to beat each other up and wrestle. Has he not seen Glow?
I'd love to do that.
It's not hard. You could set that up. You could be the manager of that. I'll help you recruit people if you want.
There have been indie promotions from time to time who've offered me roles within them, like doing commentary or being a manager. And I always have to turn them down because they're always far away. But I have had opportunities presented to me to actually get involved with wrestling. But it's much easier just to sit on a chair and play it on the PlayStation. What I really want, and I haven't even looked, but if this is available on Switch with that GM mode, I'm never getting off the toilet again.
Oh God! But no, I think you should dip your toe in the real life wrestling or at least football management, one of the two.
I'm much happier just sitting in a chair and pretending to do it. I don't need to make everything that I like to simulate real. I don't want to be a pilot either, but I enjoy the Microsoft Flight Sim.
I enjoyed convincing Ryanair to let me fly the plane, though. ChatGPT.
Yeah, but
really
none of the rest of us
there.
enjoyed it. It was horrible.
The pilot was younger than me. I was well offended. At least he sounded younger. I didn't ask his actual age.
Yeah, you are getting to the point now where most people you run into are probably younger than you.
Yeah, but it's offensive that a man flying me across the world is younger than me. That seems like it shouldn't be possible for him to get a pilot license from being an adult to that point, but apparently you can. I'm outraged.
Oh, WWE 2K23 is available on Steam. I could have this on my Steam Deck.
Is it playable on a Steam Deck?
That's what I'm looking at now. It's not clear. It's not verified on Steam Deck. Oh, no. If this becomes verified on Steam Deck, that's a problem. That would be a real problem. It's best that never happens. Please and thank you, everybody involved. While I'm trying to avoid that hitting my Steam Deck, Pab, put an advert in, I insist. Excellent advert, Pab, even if no advert played.
Yeah.
It was an excellent advert, Pab.
I was checking something out on Spotify and I noticed that sometimes they don't play. I'd like more people to tweet me at RB6K to tell me whether you hear adverts, especially now. Just then, did you hear an advert? Because this isn't a bit. We actually do put ads in there. They just don't seem to appear for you. So that's really odd.
And it's insane. Well, it's not insane. But the amount of ads that it wants me to put into these podcasts. Yeah. And they don't do it. It wants me to put a minimum of 10 ads in every week.
Yeah, Spreaker are like, lads, this needs more ads. Like, get on with it. Put more in. Do it. And Pabby's all about,
Your reply should be, play the ones we've slot in anyway.
I mean, I can ask them why they're not. I'm sure the listeners are all gutted they're not hearing all the adverts they could be hearing. But, yeah, it's a weird one. It's... I've never heard an ad on it myself. Maybe it just knows that I'm one of the people on it and they just go, nope, you're all right. But it's just thought I'd mention it.
I think it's something to do with when you listen to it as part of the release cycle, because I know I listen to most of my podcasts on Spotify, and if I listen to them when they're brand new, but it does somehow, and I don't know how. But if you listen to them when they're brand new, they have ads, but if you wait 2 or 3 days, there's no ads on them anymore.
So on Spotify, you would stream it? Am I right?
Yeah.
So I download it. So the ads are pre-baked in for me. So I'm wondering if
maybe it varies from platform to platform.
I don't know. It's weird. I didn't think about that, but I'm wondering how.
Well, there you go. If you want to avoid the ads, use Spotify. We don't get paid that way, but So playing games, I have been addicted to that Football Manager game that I talked about last week. I got the name wrong of.
Never heard of it.
Football Manager 23 Mobile. I cannot stop playing it, and it is a problem because I have it on my iPad and my phone, and I sync them between the two, and depending on where I am in the house, I'll play it on one or the other. And yeah, god damn it, I haven't been streaming. I've been too knackered and busy and just all over the place, so I've not been streaming. But on Sunday I plan to start streaming that again, full fat Football Manager, which is what they should call it. And I'm just on a right obsession with it all of a sudden. I think it's just because it's much more fun when you can read it and pay attention to it and stuff like I can now. So that's cool. I also mentioned I've been doing a lot of research for the Game Jam, which meant I was on itch a lot. Ollie's he's not obsessed with it as much as he used to be, but he's heavily into Friday Night Funkin'. So I've been checking that out. I didn't realise you could play games like that on itch by just clicking them. I know it's not a game that you buy for console anyway. It's kind of a meme game that took over the internet because it's on these sites, but somehow people are getting away with having Sonic Time Twisted as a game on itch that you can play. I'm like, how are they not getting sued?
I would say only about 30% of what you're saying at the moment makes any sense to me. I don't know what itch is. I don't know what this game you're talking about is. This all seems very made up.
Itch.io is like a site where people just throw games up that are like, I mean, many of them are very homemade, very indie
stuff. Yeah.
Some of them on there are actually made by a team that's good and done a big job on it. And so the game jam we're doing will throw our game up on there. The game I did last year is on there already and that kind of thing. But it's just a good way of, you can kind of just go on there, have a look at what people have made. If you're looking for a very quick, a visual novel or a puzzler or a single player game that you want to have a play around with, or a horror story or a retro RPG style game or something creepy, atmospheric, whatever, there'll be something on there. As I say, a lot of the stuff on there, you're like, okay, how are they using? One of these games is using Squidward from SpongeBob, and you're like, how are you allowed to put that on there without being sued or whatever? They probably have a lot of takedown requests on here, and I'm probably just seeing ones that haven't yet been taken down. But yeah, there's also lots of games on there that are legitimate or quite famous. So Friday Night Funkin' is one where it's like a rhythm game where you press left, right, up, and down in time with the very BP rap. It's not rap music, but it's like BP music, and the character's meant to be a rapper, and he's supposed to go through weeks of winning rap battles to keep his girlfriend happy with him or something like that. For some reason, it swept Ollie's class and school, and everyone was obsessed with it, and he's got like a Friday Night Funkin' hoodie that he wears in real life. He got it for Christmas and stuff like that, but he loves all of that. So I saw that on there and I was like, oh, I'll have a go on that because I knew what it was. It's a good time kill, this website. It's a bit, I mentioned in the past about Board Game Arena being a good place to play board games, and you go on there and there's like an infinite pile of games to go through, but Itch is just rammed with lots of ones where you're like, I don't think they've got the rights to making a game called Poom that is basically Doom with a P. I don't think they've paid to do that, but if you want to have a crack on a game that's basically Doom with a P instead of a D, it's there for free. Go for it. It's the site's legitimate, but some of the stuff on here clearly is not. But yeah, it's interesting to just see what people have done. What else have I done? I'm just trying to think now. I played more of Merge and whatever it was called, Merge and Blade. I got Ben and Ollie playing that. I mentioned that last week because I remember saying that Ben couldn't, but Ollie got on it and was obsessed. Absolute blast with it. Super Hexagon was on itch, and I was playing that a bit. I've not played that in a while.
Really?
That's on there. Yeah, I've just had a week of. I mean, it's been a research thing more than anything, but yeah, it's been fun just playing all of them. And obviously, Pokemon Go's been absorbing any of my outdoorsy time. It's Community Day tomorrow, or today. So if you're listening on the Saturday this launches, then 2 till 5 is Slowpoke Day. So Slowpoke and Galarian Slowpoke will be shiny and everywhere, and it's good to catch them, and so on and so forth. So spend your afternoon doing that, because that's what I'll spend it doing. And that's my lot. Over to you, Pappy.
What's a Galarian Slowpoke?
In Sword and Shield, they had like a Slowpoke that was a regional version of it. So instead of it being a normal Slowpoke, it like lays on its belly. It's got a gold forehead. It's a poison psychic type, I think. So when it evolves, it's got like one of them's got like a poison thing on its arm that shoots poison out. And you know do you remember Slow King that has like a crown on its head that's like a shell? The Galarian version, the shells come down over its head more and just looks more evil and poisoned and angry.
Just realised something.
You don't care?
No.
All right.
That's a better answer. I was thinking of Snorlax the entire time. I'm thinking, doesn't have a shell.
I did. When you said it, I was like, you seem awfully like you want to know the answer, because I kept thinking there's going to be a punchline in a minute. I was very nervous about that. But I was thinking, I was surprised you asked. But yeah, I see what you mean.
I play it every day now. I literally play for about 3 or 4 minutes.
I must admit, I have seen you pop up more on the thing.
I play it. I'm building up my buddy level, whatever it is, with my Pokemon. So I take a picture of it every day and then feed it, and then I catch me 1 Pokemon a day. And then I turn it off, and then I don't play it again till tomorrow, till the next day.
Why are you doing that?
Looking down this referral list, Pabby, it says if you can evolve 100 Pokemon at some point, purify.
What number am I at now? It
doesn't tell me.
Oh, it doesn't tell you. Is there a way of me knowing that?
I have no idea. I don't think so. Purify 20 Shadow Pokemon and visit.
Oh, don't do any of that.
Visit Pokestops 30 days in a row. That seems unlikely.
That's the thing. I've got probably nearly 1,000 over my storage for items, so I can never spin Pokestops again.
Yikes. But yeah, under referral bonuses, there's all that, and it says trade a Pokemon 5 times, but that only gives stickers, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, you've done it, literally every referral thing on here. I think once you do that page, it does do like a stretch thing for people. But like compared to Kev, who I think I added at the same time, he's done like none of them, and I'm just getting no benefit from referring him back to it, basically. I keep saying I've been trying to share this referral code thing, so because you've got the badge gives you 50, tells you refer 50 people back. I think I've done like 7. It's just everyone either plays it or is not interested. Obviously, I get that. That's fine.
It's clearly not caught on the same way as your ink scheme.
Yeah, no, the ink scheme's still going strong. I'm up to mid-2027 now. I keep getting emails thinking surely they're gonna cotton on. I'm really like I'm gonna get like a court summons or something, and I just like, you've depleted the world's ink supplies, you fool. But yeah, 700 pages a month I can rattle through if I want to. I don't, obviously. But the amount of ink, oh god, it's ludicrous. I'm set for that.
You could be subsidising a small business with that.
It does say you can't. You mustn't. I mean, I did think to myself, how would they know the difference? 700 pages, but I should put that. I've been doing just out of sheer nerdy interest, I'm doing a business studies course online, and I should have put that as one of my strengths. In my SWOT analysis, I should have said, well, I can print 700 pages for free. I can't say the word free, apparently, but that could be a weakness. But yeah, no, I've got basically unlimited ink until 2027. That can keep a business going, can't it?
I mean,
it's all you need. Yeah, it's all you need.
So yeah, games, Pab.
So here's the problem. I ain't played any.
Yikes.
What, nothing at all?
Well,
you sounds like you need a graphics card.
That is on my mind a lot, to the point where I was like, let's just not buy a graphics card. Let's just buy games that you like playing on the PC on the consoles. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that because I'm not paying 70 quid for Hitman. It seems insane. I'd rather spend 1,200 quid on a graphics card than pay 70 quid for a 2-year-old game
sense.
at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
For a 2-year-old game, I shouldn't be paying 70 quid for it. It's insane. But anyway, the only things I've played, I played a little bit more of Yakuza Like a Dragon in the week. Just a tiny bit, because I got caught up with busy work. I was like, turn it on, right, let's go and do what we've got to do. We've got to go back to the factory and see about this money laundering scheme they've got going on. I go across a bridge, and there's like a little flashy, like a shiny something on the floor. And it's a prompt to press A. So I press A, and it goes into a cutscene. I'm like, oh God, what did I do? And then it goes into a whole cutscene where I pick up a lobster. It's just on the road, and he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, you must have come out of the river. Chucks him back in. And then a homeless man comes running over and goes, where's Nancy gone? I'm like, what? He's like, Nancy, my pet lobster, whatever it is. And he's like, oh, I just threw it in the river. And he was like, oh, God. So and he feels dead bad, and he wants to go and get it back. So we end up having to go get the lobster back. And we do. It's not. It's literally around the corner. And then... So that's probably like, 15 minutes into me playing the game and wanting to get on with the story stuff. And then I go back, give him the lobster back, and then he goes, do you want something to eat? Come and have a meal. I'm preparing a meal anyway. And I was like, all right, okay. And then it turns out he was preparing the lobster to eat. And it was basically, it was time to get rid of the lobster and eat. And we can't do that. So we talk him out of it, but we've got to then find him a premium sushi banquet of sushi set or whatever it is.
The question is are like ludicrous tangents, aren't they? Like, yeah, I did enjoy it.
I thought, okay, that's fine. So I start going up and down the streets of this city looking for restaurants. I go up and down. I cannot find sushi in a restaurant. I'm in a big city in Japan, and I cannot find any shops that do any kind of sushi whatsoever. I go in every restaurant. I'm thinking, I'm just going to start buying stuff. Turns out in restaurants, you eat the stuff immediately and then leave as a restaurant you would. It's not a takeaway restaurant. You sit down and eat the food there. So I bought a load of food, ended up eating it all. So that's gone. So then I was like, okay, so it must be in stores then. I've been in pharmacies. I've been in arcades. I went to the driving range. I went to the batting cages.
Sushi in any of those places?
No,
the batting cages and the pharmacy.
I've been in every single door that'll open. I've been in cafes. I went into. I found a place that wanted to speak to me anyway. In a cafe, there's an elevator at the end of this building, and it's the hero place where you are basically like a dialer hero. And apparently, I finished a quest from beating some dudes up. And then you go in the office and it's full of cats because he left the window open and a load of cats came in, and he doesn't have the heart to let him to kick him out. So he's got a load of cats in this place now. So I handed that quest in, got some XP and what have you. Still looking for the sushi. Didn't find it, by the way. Didn't find the sushi. And then as I come down to the bottom of the lift, phone rings. I left the window open. The cats have all got out. Can you help find all the cats? So now I'm looking for cats and sushi. And I didn't get to the warehouse job I'm meant to be doing and looking for the money laundering stuff that's going on. I didn't. I just was like, you know what? I'll be honest with you, I got annoyed at the batting cages because I couldn't get a home run. I don't know what it wants from me. But I did all right on the driving range. I did okay on the driving range. Batting cages not as good. I spent 500 yen in the batting cages trying to win there. Nope, it's not happening. Not happening. So yeah, that's all the Like a Dragon that I've been playing. I keep umming and ahhing with it. It's like I really like that game and I really want to play that game, but it's just too much. And I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm thinking, I think I might have to just let this game go and just play a more focused game that isn't. I cannot play a game that has so much stuff going on, and I just can't do it anymore. I can't play. I just want a game that's kind of linear, and is gonna not a story game, but a bit more. Not open. I don't even know. I don't mind open world games, but I just cannot do it anymore. Where there's just so much stuff happening, and I can't keep track of what's going on. And if I don't focus it as the main game I play all the time, I'll forget stuff, and I won't know what's going on. And so I don't know. I might just have to let it go and just have to be at peace with that. But I played some of that. I played a tiny bit of Mario Kart. There was a new set of tracks out, wasn't there, recently?
Yeah, do you know what? I was obsessed with playing that for weeks. The new tracks came out, and I haven't been on them yet.
I mean, I haven't
either.
over
the weekend.
I realised, let's have a look at these new tracks. I realised I haven't looked at any of the DLC tracks. So I played one cup. I played one cup because I literally went into my single player stuff and looked at all the cups that I've got. I don't have any cups in. Do you have any of the cups in the single player stuff, Sheepdog?
I do. Not all of them, but I do have a lot of. Do you know what really annoyed me? I was the best in the house at this and was getting all the cups, and then because they've been playing it with me, the kids were joining in the GPs, and it didn't really matter because I was winning by miles, so I was still unlocking the cups while we played. And now my daughter's got better than me at it, and so I'll win. Maybe I'll win 2 or 3 of the cups, but I don't win all 4 of them because she sometimes gets me So I've got all these bloody 2-star and 1-star like cups where she's come ahead of me at pulled me at the end, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, show some solidarity. We're supposed to be unlocking the game here, but no, she's whooping me. There's plenty of carts I don't have yet, which. It makes me want to play it more to try and get them. There's certain carts that are really good and make certain characters better and that kind of thing. But I think the meta ones are still they're quite accessible still. I don't think it locks too much out. It's just if you want specific characters to be elevated, then it does that.
Yeah. I was the same. I kind of want to unlock more of the stuff, the carts and the wheels and all that sort of thing. But I just looked and I was like, I've done all but one of the 50cc races in the base game levels. There's nothing else. No other speeds have I done any cups for it. So I was like, I don't know. I did one of the new DLC cups of the ones that they originally released last year. The one with is it Coconut Mall or whatever it is? Is it Coconut Mall?
Yeah,
something
that sounds familiar. Yep.
Yeah, I did the cup with that one in it, and I had added it all. It seemed all right. It was nice to play levels that I'd not played before because I primarily play Mario Kart socially, so I play it against other people. I don't play it single player, so it's just nice to play some different tracks for a change. And yeah, the only other thing is Fortnite. I'm slowly. I'm actually making progress in the battle pass. We're on I think we're on officially 1 week into the new season. I'm getting to grips with it. I now know how to work the sword, the blade, whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called. The kinetic blade. Still don't go to the Future City place because it's a nightmare. I had to go there for a quest and I just hid in a room upstairs for a long time until everybody cleared off. And even then, people found us and then dispatched of us. Yeah, I don't mind it. Snipers, I'm getting better at just not sitting in front of snipers and getting shot. That feels like a thing that I need to constantly remind myself of. Just don't sit still because you're going to get shot with a sniper. And yeah, I don't think there's much else going on with the battle pass. I'm trying to think of anything on the battle pass or anything that's changed. I think I'm on page 3 of the battle pass now, which isn't bad after 1 week, to be fair. There's like 14 pages of battle pass, and I was like, let's look for all the characters in the battle pass. It doesn't get to till I get to page 11. There isn't a character I'm bothered about unlocking. Like, I've got so far to go, but it'll go like just instantly. Realistically, before I know it, I'll be up there and I'll have done it, and I'll be chasing the bonus levels and all that sort of thing. Yeah, that is pretty much. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've played. I did look on my 3DS because I've been meaning to for weeks, Sheepdog, since the start of March, and I saw the news of you need to get rid of your currency because it's going away. Turns out I don't have any currency on there anyway, because when they announced this last year, when they said it was happening, pretty much probably a year ago, when they said you've probably got a year, I put currency on there and bought a load of random games that aren't available anywhere else. So I put I think I put 100 quid on at the time and just was like, right, okay, spend it, buy the stuff that you want now. And you're right, the games on there, there's no real sales on. There's no fire sale because it's Nintendo. They don't care. They're not like loot.
Oh,
they're not.
Is it though. Twitter was saying there was. Twitter was like, people on there were just like, oh yeah, there's loads of games are all on sale at the moment.
There's always stuff on sale, but is anything you want? That probably not.
That's it. I didn't see anything I wanted, but
I looked and I was like, there's nothing that I really need. They're still selling Pokemons at full price. They're still selling you like probably your Yokais and your.
If anyone knows where I can get Yokai Watch 3 in English, I have to stress that, for Ollie, before this shuts, I would appreciate being told, because I told him I'd get him it tomorrow. And so if you're listening to this on the Saturday, let me know. Tweet me at RB6K. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he won't remember quickly and I'll get away with just not mentioning it for a bit. But I should have done better research. It's on me. It's my fault for not. But yeah,
I mean,
I was going to say.
I had to go on.
No, I was going to say about Mario Kart. If you are confused about karts, there's a site called MK8DX Builder, where you can pick your character, pick your kart, and pick your wheels and your glider, and it will show you all the different speeds you do at different things and how you accelerate and all that. And you can build like an optimized kart. It's a bit nerdy, but it's fascinating. Yeah,
that is always interesting. I always like to look. I never even looked at it and realised there's a button at the bottom that you click it and it shows you all the stats of it. You see there's different stats going up and down every time you change the wheels or you change the glider or whatever. And I'm like, huh. I just used to pick it just because of what I liked the look of.
Yeah,
but there is actual stats to it all.
I would kind of go for. I used to go for speed. I mean, to be fair, I feel like I went with what my friend told me was good because they're good at it. But what I was forgetting is their style is very much they glide around every corner doing the boost sort of turns and everything, and I need to learn to do that better. So they picked like quite a low speed, fast acceleration, and they just boost, whereas I was just boosting whenever I remembered to boost. I was like, why am I a minute behind them and everything? And it turned out I wasn't doing it right. Their mini turbo was absolutely maximized, whereas I probably want something that's just going to go round corners well and go fast all the time or whatever to keep up with that. Apparently Waluigi in a specific buggy was the meta for ages, but I've just added in Birdo and stuff like that, which may have affected the meta. It's interesting. You can faff around with it on there and have a look and see what you find that does the best job. And I'm sure it probably has stats and suggested things you can build. But if you're a nerdy person who likes playing with stats and building stuff and you're into this and you've not been on it before, it's worth checking out. It's, as I say, mk8dxbuilder.com. It's got all the characters, all the karts, all the gliders and wheels. It's snazzy.
And that sounds like we're done.
Think so.
Well, boys and girls, if you would like to follow us on the internet, you can do that at MG UK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And I'm at RB6K.
And I'm at Pab1986. Had to think there for a second.
You're a monster. Don't forget to listen to the Best Thing From podcast that's out tomorrow. And also, there's a video that me and Sheepdog did in Barcelona. Also, Best Thing From. So check those out. And we'll see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening, folks.